Teen guilty of sexually assaulting 12 and 13-year-old girls appeared in court today to find out whether he would be released from jail.
When families of the victims heard details about the psychological evaluations he was given, they were outraged.
7 Action News reporter Kim Russell was in court when this all happened. Kim, what did these evaluations reveal?
Well, the prosecutor said she looked over them as she was trying to make a safety plan for his release, and they took a look at his IQ, found it was average. They looked at his ability to do life skills such as feeding himself and dressing himself. He passed with flying colors. She says the problem is what they did not reveal. The crimes date back to 2016. The teen was 14 years old when he raped 2 12-year-olds and 1 13-year-old girl. He was charged with 31 felonies. The girls' families were shocked in October when, after a plea deal, he was sentenced to a minimum 45 days in juvenile detention.
I would have preferred that he do an inpatient residential treatment program for the length of his probation, but you know, that's not happening. It's not going to happen. The court's going to do what the court's going to do.
Now 45 days have passed and the court convened to decide whether he's ready to go home. Cameras were not allowed inside the courtroom at Livingston County Court because the defendant is a juvenile. The prosecutor told the court the evaluations she saw did not look at underlying psychological issues that may have led to the crimes. She asked that the young man not be released until more psychological testing is done. The court agreed. Families of victims who had been told this sentence would focus on his rehabilitation did not understand how this testing was not done in the first place.
Once again, we've been let down, getting used to that feeling.
If we're going to look at this case as a rehabilitation for the offender, then, you know, that should be addressed.
Now they are focusing on 2 things: changing legislation and making sure the girls who survived these sexual assaults thrive.
They are so strong.
If there's anything at all good that can come out of this, you know, that's where we're at now. That's what we're working towards.
I'm live outside Brighton High School, where the defendant and some of his victims go to school, or went to school rather, and the families say while they have been reassured after protests at the court that he won't be allowed to attend the same school as his victims, they now are focusing on legislation that would guarantee that. They say families shouldn't have to fight for that after a child is a victim of a felony, so that's something they're working on now. Reporting live in Brighton, Kim Russell, 7 Action News.
All right, thank you, Kim.